But I'd rather use firelighters. Honestly, some blokes have got more cheek than an elephant's bottom. Farthing's worth of sliced mud, please, and I'll have it off the bone, if I may.
Isn't he gorgeous? Isn't he hunky?
Who?
Him! Watch! He's so tasty I could eat him for breakfast.
He's a bloke, Rose, not a bowl of Cocoa Pops. Anyway, they're all the same. They tell you what a good time they're going to give you. Then you end up flat on your back for hours on end, servicing the muck spreaders.
You're just bitter.
What do you mean?
Because no one ever fancies you.
Look, just because I don't go round chasing everything in tights like some people.
Oh no, there was one, wasn't there?
There have been several, actually.
Speaking of Pudsey.
Rose.
Mind you, he was the village idiot.
Sarcasm is the lowest...
And he was 6 years old.
Look, Rose.
Hello. Still here, then?
Do you mind? This is a private conversation.
Oh, join us, please. Nice to meet you. So anyway, as I was saying, there's absolutely nobody around here to go out with if you're a fun-loving girl looking for a good time.
So, you're the famous Maid Marian, are you?
And I'm Rose Scargill. I expect you've heard of me. Of course, it doesn't matter to her, because she likes staying at home knitting.
Because, I quite fancy seeing you home, if that's OK.
Oh, thank you very much. You're a fast worker, aren't you?
How about it, Marian?
It's very kind of you, but I'm afraid my address has to be kept strictly secret. Security, you see.
Oh, come on.
Cheer up. There's lots of silly little girls round here who don't use firelighters. Aren't there, Rose?
This boy isn't bad. He's already beaten your two at the fencing test.
And the archery test.
And the intelligence test.
You see, I told you my training scheme would work.
But he's 4, my lord. What use is he going to be against well-armed political extremists? We need weapons.
Hello. Who'd like to come and play swimming in the moat?
Gavin's made us some new weapons, sire. Look, a big picture of a witch to frighten the enemy.
You've got to admit, it's pretty scary, sire.
And he's given us each a stickle brick, sire.
Yeah, you see what you do? You put them in the enemy's bed and they'll think it's a creepy crawly thing, won't they, Gavin? And then they'll all run away and hide in a cupboard.
Who'd like to come and play? La 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 la.
Clearly a child's drawing and a stickle brick will wreak havoc in the enemy ranks, my lord. Stands to reason, but we're today's army, for goodness sake. We need today's technology.
Exactly. Look at this. With this weapon, we will transform the art of modern warfare.
Yes, sire. You see, I climb up a big tree with it, and when the enemy come along, I tip it over their heads, and they have to go home and get out of their wet things. And they aren't allowed out again until they've had a bath and been rubbed down with a big warm towel.
Brilliant.
Gavin invented it, sire.
Yeah, he calls it the tank.
I'm a sweet little chappie, aren't I? Would you like to see my little chubby knee?
And it's the face painting too, don't forget that.
Yeah, Gavin's going to paint our faces so we look really creepy.
Well, I'm just going to go off and play with my other friends then. My really special friends.
Excellent idea, young man. How would you like to paint my face too?
He's near little tinker, sire.
Are you sure you don't want to listen to my shrewd ruse?
Can I carry your bag, miss?
You skunk! I was really scared. Well, not scared, obviously, more...
Cautious?
Yeah. Well, you have to be, don't you?
And that's why my little chat-up didn't work, is it?
Yeah.
Pity.
Well, you still had Rose, didn't you?
Leave it out. I suppose if a bloke wanted to get anywhere with you, he'd just have to be really straight, wouldn't he?
Guess so.
OK. I think you're really nice. And I'd like to get to know you. How's that? Can I carry your bag, then? So, how long have you been doing this Merry Men like?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, what do you reckon, Rabies?
I'm not sure. Is it 17?
Ah, this is the life. Cocktail, little Ron?
Oh, that's fine. Can't finish this one yet. Someone's coming! Quick!
Right, places, everyone.
Security's pretty tight. They'll be monitoring us by now.
Oh, it's amazing. You've done a brilliant job, Marion.
Thanks much. Well, here we are.
Hello and welcome to Sherwood's newest sizzling night spot, Robin's Hideout.
Good evening. May I show you to your table?
Who wants to come and play? La 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 la.
But how do we know these toad monsters will work?
Well, Mutt says they sell them at John Lewis's in Lincoln. And no one's been squashed to death by a giant toad monster in John Lewis's, now have they?
What about Paul the pig juggler? They found him splattered all over the handbag department. And his wife, the lovely Debbie McGee.
That was different. A man can only juggle so many pigs without a terrible accident. Come on, let's get these little lifesavers set up before we're jumped on by the great toad monster.
Hello? Who'd like to come and play swimming in the moat?
It's the great toad monster!
I'd give anything in the whole wide world for a little playmate.
So embarrassing. Listen, you won't say anything, will you? It'd totally ruin our image as freedom fighters if people knew we were running a singles bar.
Of course not. You can trust me. You know that, don't you?
Nuts, anyone? And on the house, 2 Sherwood Slammers.
Truth, Robin, what's in them? Pond water and ferret's blood?
Marion, it was supposed to be a surprise. Honestly.
Oh well. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is really nice, actually. I never get any time to relax. There's always something going wrong. Yesterday it was little Ron getting stuck up a rabbit's hole. Day before, Rabies tried to nail a pair of antlers to his bed.
Was that a problem?
Well, the stag didn't like it. Still, no worries now.
No. Except the sheriff and his men could burst in at any moment, of course.
But this morning he backed down.
Yeah, because I told him there were a dozen merry men hiding behind every tree with their arrows pointing at his scrawny little body. Do you know what he said? Just wait till I get my big shipment of arms tomorrow. I'll wipe them off the face of the earth.
Did he? Did he indeed? Stop the music! What do you think you're doing, for goodness sake? The sheriff and his men could burst in at any moment,
Well,
couldn't they?
actually-
And what would you do then?
We'd thought of that, see? We'd hide.
Well, great plan, Robin. Where?
There, look. It's our new treehouse. He'd never get us up there. And he'd never get me up here, would he?
See? We're not as dumb as we look, are we?
Robin, since you seem to have solved our security problem so brilliantly, this may seem slightly picky. But how do you get in? Or out? Oh, honestly, I turned my butt for 5 minutes and we're entirely weaponless, totally defenceless, and running a night spot that's about as exciting as the Birmingham Bull Ring on a wet Wednesday.
Yeah, them bulls certainly give me a thrill. Yeah, it's the way they tickle you with their little hooves.
Look, I'm only an outsider, right? And shut me up if I'm speaking out of turn. But I reckon I could lay my hands on a nice bit of gear for you. few second-hand crossbows, automatic longbows, a couple of portable ground-to-air stone throwers.
Much, that'd be